Me and a partner purchased Central Massachusetts Machine back in September of 2009. It was a company that existed in one form or another since the late 1800s in this same facility. Early 2014, we changed the name to Meridian Industrial Group to more reflect, be better representative, or to better represent what we're currently doing for work. When I purchased the business in 2009, we were largely a job shop, contract manufacturing, doing work primarily in the commercial sector. Large fabrications, large valves, a lot of small lot sizes, one or two pieces, difficult to gain traction on, and kind of unpredictable as to when the work was actually going to show up. We started to develop this additional dimension of the business, which is more program type work that you find more in the aerospace, defense, space sectors, medical. And we've had some success because of our niche of doing very large parts. That has served us really well, has given us opportunities since we're trying to reinvent a business that was not well suited to compete, and we're becoming a business that is competing very well. It became necessary to modernize the facility, but that doesn't happen overnight. So if you walk through the facility, you can see yesterday with all of the old equipment, and then as you walk through the facility, you can see the half a dozen or so new machines we've purchased in the last 3 years to be able to keep up with the demands of this different dimension that we're moving into.
And so as a result of a 5-county study that was funded originally by the state to look at opportunities for growth, we brought a group called RTI, Research Triangle, in here, along with the growth and innovation people from MEP. And during that session, there was kind of connection made between some of these very large parts that in some cases may need repair and the work that CCAT is doing in Connecticut in 3D printing. You've made some advances in that, and Mass Development was also involved in funding CCAT in order to underwrite some of the cost of some of these 3D printed, I would call them repair or replacing metal on. Can you expand on that a little?
So during one of our meetings that we had with you and some of your colleagues, we were talking about the work we did with some of these exotic metals and a couple of specific programs that we're involved with related to NASA. And you folks had mentioned CCAT, who we're very familiar with. Hadn't spoken to them about a couple of programs that are out there related to the Department of Defense that you thought fit right into what we were doing. So we sort of took that ball that you threw to us and we ran with it, and we have started the process of really a twofold effort here. One, in repairing some parts that are nickel alloy parts, exploring that and working with our customer to add value to what we do for them. And there's a second program that we're working with CCAT on to optimize the machining process for the same program. So we're in 2014, we started to explore, as part of this effort, to transition this company from a company that was built to do business in the dark ages, at times it seems, to a business that can compete into the future. It was necessary that we go through a lean training phase. We did a number of things on our own that made sense, but it reached a point where we knew it was time to call on professionals to really develop this lean initiative in our shop. So we started that. That will begin the beginning of May. It's a 2-year program that is funded by the Workforce Training Fund.
Right.
We've invested an awful lot of money and brought in the right personnel to compete in the arenas that we want to, so I certainly hope that that's what's in our future, but the contracts that we've been able to secure that are more long-term and the opportunities that we have been able to gain and perform well on lead us to believe that there's significant growth in our future. Industry has to work closely with those organizations that are training our future employees. We need to serve on advisory boards and build strong advisory boards for the vocational. When I considered going through the lean program, the lean training, I looked at other organizations. I spent a fair amount of time vetting that out and settled on Mass MEP partly because I want to support Mass MEP. I've been involved with them, but that wasn't going to be the only reason I would have settled on Mass MEP. It had to make sense. The trainers that would be coming in here, we had them in here several times, wanted them to really understand the type of business we are, because we are different than a lot of the businesses that are part of our trade association. And ultimately, it seemed like an awfully good fit.